On October 7th, 2022, I uploaded every EMD Locomotive Described in 10 words or less, which was a video where I covered EMD diesel locomotives in 10 words or less. And since then, this video has gotten the most views on this channel, ranking in at 93,000, which is most views compared to any other video on this channel. And fast forward 2 years later, look where we are right now. We are already nearing 10,000 subscribers, like we're at 9815 at the time of this recording, and a lot of videos have come out throughout the last 2 years. And so, to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of this video being on this channel, I thought, why not go back to the drawing board and remaster this video from the ground up, with new recorded dialogue to even redoing the script from the ground up, meaning that every new entry has something new to talk about. And this also does include the leftover locomotives, and even a few subclasses which I grouped into one. Remember the F40 segment, how it grouped multiple models into one? Well, in this remaster, they are separate, because there's actually something to talk about in 10 words or less. And as usual, the normal rule, rebuilds, repowers, and regears are not going to be included here, and export locomotives are not counted. So unless fit operate in Canada, America, or Mexico, they will not be featured on this video. And electric locomotives, I already made a whole video covering those. Anyways, from yard switchers to early streamlined cab diesels, modern freight locomotives to whatever the fuck these are, this is every EMD diesel locomotive reviewed in 10 words or less. Remastered. Beginning somewhere for passenger diesels, and they succeeded. A big step for diesels, but not there yet. Boxcab, but streamlined, and one survived. A stellar design, but they didn't think of capacity, huh? Fast improvement, and more open to larger consists. Zephyr, but a cabbage diesel, and compatible with regular cars. Like most boxcabs, utilitarian and probably forgettable. Certified Doodlebook, certified diesel railcar.
That fuck 'em up.
Now made out of dilapidated baggage cars. A diamond in the rough for a coal hauling railroad. Nothing beats the look of a streamlined Doodlebook. A spectacle for City of Salina. Or Tinworm. How about a little more? Also, I'm a banana! The last step of those turret cabs with more capacity. A step up with an automobile design type cab. Bus bodies plus futuristic design equals a futuristic mess. Quite a turning point for dieselization. An E-unit, but smaller. A Santa Fe exclusive. No, not that. Oh, there we go. Capable of 160 miles per hour, eh? A Seaboard exclusive with a pneumatically operated door for crews. How did I not see that baggage door back then? Started off as cabbage diesels, then became boxy E-units. You cannot beat the Burlington with stainless steel diesels. Last of the slant noses, and they ended off well. Sold well, debuted the Bulldog nose, and one survived. A certified classic among the 6-axle cab units. Debuting in the era passenger trains fell, but they're decent. The point where diesel locomotives truly had the future, paving the way for an icon, but alas, none survive. Fitted with a new generator and thousands in sales, but you cannot beat the Chads at our F7. Elongated for passenger service, but basically an updated TA. Closing the cab unit market with something mid. Popular in Canada, Mexico, and Saudi Arabia? Huh, the fact these lasted as long as 2009 is commendable. Nowadays, a fragments of the past, also one's a lodge, can't beat their aesthetics, and first before the freight variants. 6-axle passenger diesels, rotting in a storage line, now prone to frequent derailments. I still think it's America's most overrated diesels. Now with the scrapped remains of SCP-40Fs, going from 3,000 horsepower to 3,200 horsepower. Now elongated and with glorious Cummins engines. Cab designs changed to the point where people love it. Successors to the F40s, and they're pretty good. America's early AC locomotives, now rotting away in Illinois. The backbone of the Long Island since the Alco days. Not gonna lie, they look a little better than a Charger. The laughable but oddly charming response to Alco's road switchers. An attempt to appeal to short lines gone nowhere. War babies at their finest, with gauge-changing trucks.
Yes.
Wait, I don't remember this. So, this was built by EMD? I don't believe it. Okay, this makes sense, but diesel hydraulics? Not gonna lie, the design of these were very alien-like. I find it funny these were marketed as DIY locomotives. Among the Canadian built, these were true winners. Wait, aren't these export oh, that explains it. Narrow gauge end cab, but what is that truck choice? I find their usage in Canada to be incredibly unique. I won't lie, the 6-axle variant actually goes quite hard. You cannot lie that Newfoundland railways are an incredibly underrated part of Canadian railway history. 2 GP35s, 1 frame equals
1 beefy
long in size, short in service life, but timeless.
What is there to say? They're just booster.
Starting off with a bit of a boxy nose. Now with the chin mentality. Changed with the more classic appearance with transfer variants. A decent step up, but less powerful. Surprisingly long for a transfer switcher. 12,000 horsepower and a new 567B engine.
And transfer.
Half the horsepower and exclusive to oil companies. Another 300 horsepower, but domestically sold better. The awkward diesel version of the GG1 for transfer service. A beginning to another niche series of switchers, with fitted electrical equipment from GE. Ironic. Easily the most memorable of the N series. Wait, I already did this joke.
What am I looking at?
Quite the change in road switcher design, but less popular. Hybrid of two built, and both still exist. Slapped with a modern hood, that would last. Now with the curvy roof because aesthetics, back to basics, but this is the peak. Still at the peak with 500 horsepower added. An exclusive to Mexico and now sporadic across America. Living up to the name, multi-purpose, I suppose, with nose elongated and AC electrical equipment. Why not bust it up with turbo? We have now entered in the road switcher era, homeboys. The chat of 4-axle units and wins every way. Now made of cannibalized F units. Somewhat niche, but definitely not glossed over. AKA, it's good. Turbochargers for more power. Simple as that. AC alternators, anyone? Another 50 horsepower to the GP9. To think these existed after one of UP's experiments.
Also
Just an aspirated GP35 with 31 examples. The beginning of the 2nd gen era with a unique roof. The middle class Jeep with Alco and EMD trucks. Getting there with the 645 prime mover. The last AC powered Jeep, I think? Okay. The pinnacle of modern day local and yard power. A comfortable cab now included, if you live in Canada. So, Mexico had passenger variants of these things? Ironic how this class was remembered mostly by rebuilt GP35s. Kennecott exclusive with, a step up of Dash 2 technology and selling better. Kicking it up with that 645, but we've really peaked again with Dash 2 technology. And of course, Canadian variants included. Now with a less noticeable frame difference. And being lightweight. Still kicking down the streets of New Jersey since 1968. 3 built for California, bumped down the freight service. Ironic. Nothing quite like loud generators in downtown Toronto. More remembered on Tri-Rail than Southern. A supercharged Jeep capable of 3,500 horsepower and whack-ass truck. Now found in the cold climates of Alaska with these bells. Somewhat better than the 6-axle counterparts, I guess. 500 less horsepower, but still good. The final hurrah for 4-axle mainline units, and closing off with a charming wide cab.
Sorry, no.
The beginning of EMD's craze with 6-axle diesels. More maintainable prime movers equaling a better upgrade. riding on dead Alco trucks, at least for the C&O. Raise the horsepower with a mostly similar appearance. Nobody gives a shit about the 28 series, an inconsistent problem with production models, and your typical variant with a steam generator. Major visual difference is just another handrail sanction. Think more AC equipment to a road switcher. Alright, good, but least popular to the 4-axle counterparts. Who even remembers the 39 series? Okay, at least these compressed 6-axles are cool. Fuel hungry and unpopular with railroads. Jacked up generally, but with the same problems. Wow, that cut in the nose is so weird. A starting point to a magnum opus. SD40s on SDP45 frames, and only found on Illinois Central. SD45s with less horsepower and very short. You really think I'll say that joke again, huh? The magnum opus of EMD, and cannot be topped. The perfect locomotives to run through long, dark tunnels. And of course, your fan favorite Canadian variant. Nobody expected these to return back to Canadian Pacific. Miles better than the OG, but weren't too popular. So smoky you'll be gasping through straws. The true shit stain on EMD's reputation, and a horrific successor. Shorter frame and more unique. Fully cowled, but still the same problems. A big improvement, but not much to their reputation. The great introduction of the North American cab, I think. Now with the isolated cab, as evident with the line. No isolated cab? Cowled up again, but unbearable in the summer. Triclops cab on a Mac actually goes hard, honestly. Of course, NS was still hell-bent on standard cabs. The widespread addiction that UP had on these units is something. A good seller, only to Canadian National for some reason. The true beginning of the AC age in American railroading. Increase the horsepower and the isolated cab. Big motive power done right, but now all are dead. This wasn't done justice, sadly. Boosted up to 6,000 horsepower, and it flopped. Early precursor to the Ace, but still crap. The most mysterious out of EMD locomotives, with no sales. Only existed because some railroads were still DC believers. Good advancements in technology, but forever in the GEVO shadow. Like this was any better to the GE equivalents. It doesn't look that bad compared to the render, honestly. Paint scheme is good, but I don't know. So I hope you all enjoyed this revise of a rather popular video on this channel. It was definitely nice to make this to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of this channel icon, I guess. It was definitely fun to go back and redo this with the more modern elements to it. If there's one thing to note, is that ever since this video was first uploaded, a lot of other content creators have made their own takes, or their own 10 words or less videos for their own channels, with pretty good results. And to close out this video, here are my personal favorite 10 words or less videos which you should go and check out. Those being, Almost Every California Railroad in 10 Words or Less by Stockton Subber, Every Commuter Railroad Described in 10 Words or Less by Ranting Railfan, Ranking Every Long Island Railroad Locomotive MU in 10 Words or Less by PensyFan19, DC 4260 Productions has a dozen of 10 words or less videos made, which I definitely think you should check out. Train Sim World routes described in 10 words or less by TB76 Returns. Amtrak Locomotives bought in 10 words or less by GP30 Foamer. Every Union Pacific Steam Locomotive review in 10 words or less by Andrew Ray Alabamers. And Every Penn Central Locomotive in 10 words or less by Ohio Valley Railfan. Sorry if I got that wrong. One final one I would like to mention is also the inspiration behind the 10 words or less series. That being British Rail Locomotives Described in 10 Words or Less by Majestic Trains. This was the main video that inspired me to make my own versions, and I highly recommend you check out this video because it covers a lot of British Railway diesels, and it's just generally fun. So go and check out his content below, and I do hope you go and support all these content creators' channels with their own videos. But even if these are popular, everyone else has done their pretty own unique 10 words or less videos, which you should go and check out and support their content, in my personal opinion. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of great ones out there. And hell, you also can make your own, and I'd be curious to see what more you guys have in store. Nonetheless, Thank you all for watching this video, and especially to all of you guys that made your own 10 words or less videos. I'm glad to see people get inspired from my work, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what most of y'all have in store for the future. Anyways, this wraps up today's video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care, folks.